All right, we got a really delicious show for you today, which I'm pretty excited about. Right now, we're going to do some stuffed shells, and I'm going to do them vegetarian because you know I love a meatless Monday. It's not Monday, but this is a meatless Monday idea. And because to me, if you're going to start implementing meatless Mondays into your repertoire, you're not going to want to start with just like a big salad. You want something still that's satiating and comfort food and delicious, but we're just skipping the meat. So I'm making you a meatless Monday dish on a Thursday. I'm blonde. I do what I want to do. All right, so the first thing, let's go ahead and mix in what we need for our cheeses. Now, ricotta, very classic for stuffed shells. And you know, when I do anything with ricotta, I scoop it out and I look at it and see if it needs the blot, right? Sometimes it's watery, sometimes it's not. You can use whatever kind of ricotta you like. I always like using the whole milk ricotta. I just find the flavors better. It adds a beautiful richness, and then sometimes the ricotta can be, like the skim ones and such, can be not only thinner and a little more watery, less flavor, and I want that kind of unctuousness in the middle. I don't want, it's stuffed shells, to try and make them healthier. I'm going against what we're trying to do here. So this does not look very wet, so I'm not going to do the thing where I spread out the paper towel and put it all down. I'm just going to do a quick blot. A good thing about ricotta is it doesn't stick to anything, so you can just kind of do the blot if you see any extra water. But this one is actually nice and rich. Don't need to worry about it. Let's add a couple things to this. Obviously, a good pinch of salt and pep. Let's get that in there. I'm also going to want to do, I'll move this to the side here, 2 eggs in here. On a flat surface, thumbs in, thumbs up. I don't really need to tell you that. It's what I tell my kids, and I'm so used to them being in the kitchen near me and me going, all right, flat surface, thumbs in, thumbs up. So I apologize if I'm talking to you as though you were 9 years old. I'm just used to saying it with my son Luke. All right, let's get some garlic in here, obviously. We want to go ahead and season this up. I have 4 cloves of garlic. Now, you know that I always prefer you to use the fresh garlic, but this is one of those dishes that if you want to grab out the jarlic, do it. Make your life easier. Add a big old scoop of jarlic in there if you don't want to take the time to do this. There are certain recipes I tell you can't do that. You got to keep it fresh, but this you can whip together quick, and if that jarlic makes your life easier, keeps you out of a Taco Bell drive-thru, then you do that. All right, so as always, I'm gonna just kind of gently move my knife through just to get it moving. And then once it's chopped down, put it in a nice little pile, tip on the board, hand on top, just rock back and forth until it's tiny. And now you don't have to clean that evil garlic press that I hate. Even though I know a lot of you love the garlic press, I'm just teasing you. You use whatever makes your life happy and easy. All right, I like that. We're gonna add that in. Now, we've got a lot of good flavors going on here, but ricotta is not necessarily known for being a super flavorful cheese. We want it for the texture, we want it for that creaminess, but the flavor itself, a little boring, so we're gonna add in, we stopped out at Simon's Specialty Cheese, our new partner, we love them. They've got a beautiful mozzarella, we're gonna be using that at the end of our meal, and then we're also gonna be using their Parmesan. We got some fresh grated Parmesan here. This is what's gonna add that umami flavor, that salty, warm flavor that we love. Get that in there. That's gonna bring us the flavor, and then the ricotta is gonna bring us that creaminess we're looking for. Now, before I completely bring this together, let's talk about the little twist. I want to add in some bright lemon. Let's get some lemon zest in here. Lemon zest is an easy way to add a beautiful brightness and flavor to this without overpowering it. But this dish can be heavy. We're gonna do a red sauce, we're doing pasta, we're doing ricotta, Parmesan. These are heavy flavors, and this is when people will say to me, why does restaurant food taste better than my food? There's a couple of reasons. One, we use a lot of butter and stuff, a lot of butter. So we definitely season our food with that. But also, we're always trying to think about flavor profiles, right? Right now I wanna wake up the back of my palate, and that's what this lemon zest is gonna do, just to bring an extra little complexity to the dish. It elevates it, but at the same time, we're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just adding a little zest. If you don't have a lemon and you want to make this without the lemon, you should just make it without the lemon. It's not going to ruin anything. It's going to be still delicious. This is like when you add a bay leaf to something. Would people notice if the bay leaf wasn't there? Probably not, but when you add it in, it adds a little eucalyptus flavor. Like, this is just an extra step to elevate it, but You don't have to do this step. I'm also gonna, these are pretty big lemons here, so I'm gonna add in a little bit of lemon juice, and then I'm gonna taste it and see if it needs more. Now let's get, look at how beautiful that lemon zest is in there. Like that just screams springtime, unlike the weather. The weather is all just insane right now, so I'm not gonna worry about that. We're gonna be inside thinking that it's spring and making a nice lemony pasta. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this all well, and you know, MITG, make it taste good. What does it need? Let's taste it and see. Does it need more salt? Does it need more parm? Like, what are we thinking here? Okay. Oh, I like that. It needs two things. It needs a smidge more salt, because the tomato sauce I'm using doesn't really have much salt in it. A little more pep. And I'm gonna add in a little bit of basil. Now I'm gonna save some basil for the end to really sprinkle on top and get that freshness. But let's get a little basil in here. When it comes to basil, just give it a nice little roll up. And you know that rocking motion we talk about all the time with our knife. Just run your knife down, keep your fingers out of the way. And then just chop it like you would the garlic. Just get it in a little pile, choppy chop. All right, add that in. Now I feel like we're in a great spot. So you got a couple, what I love about stuffed shells, you can make them ahead of time, pop them in the oven right before you need them. You can make this part of it earlier in the week and then stuff your shells later. It's a good meal prep. But what I'm gonna do here is I've got some shells here that are already cooked. You cook them about, I'd say right before they're about done. You want these nice and al dente because they're gonna bake in the oven. Got a little tomato sauce, use whatever marinara you like. So I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of that on the bottom of a baking dish. Just like that, so it coats the bottom. And now I'm gonna take a spoon. And it's so easy. And this is one of those things, is it a little messy? Yeah, it's a little messy, it's all right. This is a great one to get your kids involved in. And you're just gonna nestle it right in. But you can get your kids stuffing these shells. If they're grandkids, if their fingers get a little dirty, that's part of cooking, honey. It's part of cooking. You know me, I say the messier you get, the better the food's gonna taste. While I'm doing this, try not to, you know how when I get my nails, I don't get my nails done. When I paint my nails, I point it out because I get very excited because I never do it. Right now, my hands are chef hands, so don't judge me. I've got cuts on myself, I've got burns, all my nails are gone. I'm doing a lot of cooking outside of here, so don't judge the ugly hands today, because they're not pretty. All right, so now as I stuff these, if you did not want to do a meatless dinner, all you would have to do is right before you do this, just stir in some cooked sausage. Just make some Italian sausage, cook her up, stir it in, easy peasy, and that way you have a little bit of a heartier meal. You're more than welcome to do that. This is just a great way that my family has no clue there's any meat missing because it's so good. So for me, when I do recipes like this, sometimes it's hard because I don't ever measure anything, so I kind of have to remake the dishes and kind of come up with the measurements. And then I always have a hard time with the baking dishes as well because just get a big baking dish. Don't worry about the size. If you got a 9 by 13, that works great. You got a smaller, wider one, big, whatever you want to do. Just smush them all in. So I'm gonna keep doing this because I want everyone to have a good lunch today, but once it's filled, I'm not gonna make you stare at me for the next 10 minutes while I do this, because we have one ready to go. Let me grab towels here. So once you bake this in the oven, what we did was, once it's at the point where your noodles are stuffed, you're gonna drizzle it with a little more of that tomato sauce and hit it with some of our Simon's mozzarella. They got this award-winning mozzarella, it's fabulous. So go ahead and do the drizzle and throw it in the oven, bake her up. It's beautiful. Got one right here ready to go. We're gonna finish it though too. Look how beautiful that is. You can see it bubbling. Hopefully you get that on camera. I'm sorry, I might have moved that out of the camera's way. Can you get that, Levi, or no? Overhead? There you go. It's bubbling, that cheese has melted, the noodles are cooked perfectly. You can serve it like this and it would be wonderful. But let's get some basil. Now, basil's a soft herb and 90% of the time I would tell you, don't I never cook with soft herbs. I always add them at the end. I went a little, out of my comfort zone today and added some to the stuffing in there because I had some and it will just be delicious. But for me, this is really where the basil hits home because it's just so bright. Basil's in the mint family without kind of the sweetness of the mint, but you still get this bright herbaceous flavor from basil that does have a little sweetness to it. And it's just a lovely accoutrement. Now, let's say your store didn't have fresh basil leaves. Fresh flat leaf parsley on this is delightful as well. And now we're just gonna add that little bit of lightness. So I take the big leaves first, just pile them on top of each other. Like I did before, do those next. Give them a tight little roll. And you're just rocking forward. You know how it goes, just rock it forward. Get that thumb anchored on that side, get your finger anchored on that side, just rock it forward. Now, this is called a chiffonade, and I like to go really thin. This is a great way to practice your knife skills. I like to go really thin on this, but thick ribbons is fine. You cannot pre-cut these. Take this as a chef, a caterer. Once you start cutting this, it's gonna oxidize and not look pretty. It's gonna turn brown pretty quick. So this is one of those herbs you do at the last minute. And then you just kinda zhuzh it up a little bit and do the sprinkle. And that is gonna add a beautiful flavor and color to the end of your dish here. And I am really happy with this. So hopefully you make this. You'll be able to find this on our website and on our Facebook page right after the show. I'm gonna post that. If you make it, let me know.